And we're back, 2025, with a brand new episode, Season 2, if you will. Trailers to Yachts. I know, I think we got to do trailers, or Season 2, but inaugural cheers. We'll start this off.
Boom. I'm not going to lie. I've been missing this.
I know. The people have too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we haven't recorded in like, what, 3 weeks?
No. It's
2.5 weeks?
Has it been 3 weeks?
It's been 3 weeks.
Sheesh.
It's a long 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No podcast in 3 weeks, and then we went a week and a half with no burgers.
Whew. Yeah. How was your 10 days with no burgers, Jared?
It was rough. It was rough. I honestly, the first half was a lot worse than the second half because I was very sick the second half, so could care less about a cheeseburger. But yeah, the first half was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I found some substitutes, but it pales in comparison.
Yeah.
Some McDonald's runs. I was eating burgers, but
Not ours.
no, that hole was not filled.
Yeah.
But I mostly just substituted with drinking heavily.
Sheesh.
It was the holidays. Come on.
Yeah.
I had
that's
family.
True. That is true.
Yeah, it's true.
Santa Claus was in town. It's great.
Yeah, I was fine not eating burgers, but I ate a lot of other stuff. It's weird when I was like at my brother's a lot back in Youngstown, so they always have like a fridge full of food and snacks for their kids. So I was binging on other things besides burgers. But
Yeah, and Youngstown's got the best pizza in
Oh, yeah.
Ohio. Like,
ate a lot of pizza.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
I did have pizza.
where?
Pizza Nerds.
Ooh, that's
Tried it for
right.
the first time.
Heard it's fantastic.
Which I'm glad I did because I got sick. So I was like, there's a few things that I had to do during our 9 days off. And I had it scheduled out, only a couple things. But luckily, Pizza Nerds is one of them. I was like, I got to try this place. And so even though I got sick, I was like, this is still happening. Getting Pizza Nerds, and it was fantastic. I think it made me better, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had Pizza Nerds and got better.
When are we going?
I don't know.
We're going to do a pizza party for the crew.
It's in Gahanna, so that's a kind of a hike.
That's the problem.
I guess it's closer to them than
Yeah,
it
how
is to
far
us.
is Guyana from our restaurant?
20 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh, shit. Okay.
15 minutes.
That's more than I thought.
That's it.
It feels like everything in Columbus is like really close. Like it's not that far of a drive until you're driving
Yeah.
to like Easton or Gahanna.
But it's all,
from our side.
It's all like 20 minutes, though.
Yeah. I think it is 27 minutes there from my house.
Not terrible.
No.
Are they on any apps or anything?
I think they do their own in-house delivery. Don't quote me on that.
They wouldn't come all the way over here, I bet.
No, I don't know if they're on any like.
Bro, that's old school.
Yeah.
In-house delivery?
Mm-hmm. Someone once told us we should do that.
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
If it was within like a 2 mile, maybe honestly where we're at like a half mile radius.
We'd have to have like 3 drivers and then getting them
where,
lost.
Where would they park? Right, like
Yeah.
we don't
have parking.
People that do it professionally for a living don't even know how to do it. I wouldn't want to hire some I don't know.
Professionally is a generous term for some of the drivers.
Professionally meaning they get paid to do it.
I know.
So
doesn't mean they're good, but they get paid.
well, right.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It's a good recap.
Let's jump into some topics here.
Meat and potatoes of the year.
The meat and potatoes of last year. Last year's taters.
Yeah, last year was a crazy year.
Yeah. We totted a lot of taters, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So I was doing the math, and it was about 20,000 burgers smashed.
Okay.
It's about 40,000 patties and 10,000 pounds of tater tots.
Wow.
You could fill a yacht with those numbers, which we will
Small yacht.
eventually.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, a decently sized yacht. 10,000 pounds is that's a lot.
Yeah, what's one?
One case is
What's
30
it?
pounds.
I'm not going to try to.
Yeah,
math
let's
right now,
not
but that's
do that on air.
That's at least 7 cases.
Yeah.
It's like 300 cases.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's not bad.
Yeah, small yacht. I think he's right. Small yacht.
Okay. Well, what do you think? We'll move past it. Move past it. But do you want to walk us through? I mean, we'll just go from the beginning of 2024. I know we've already touched up on some of that in some of the previous episodes, but just give them a nice little update and kind
Yeah.
of lead us to right now.
Well,
just
one
like
of,
the highlights.
I mean, one of the things that we were talking about over our break that we were texting, just kind of laughing, because last year in the food truck, we were all doing Google. We all had like a Google contract. So Adam was in his food truck and we were in ours. And we had this sweet Google gig where we would show up and drop off 50 meals.
Getting
Wow,
$20 a meal.
$20 a head,
Yeah.
50 meals.
10:30 at night though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is,
Miserable.
and then one was in Columbus, and then one of the locations was in Lancaster, which was about a 35-minute drive.
Yeah.
About.
When there
and,
wasn't-
and it's in the winter too, so it's like the worst time to be driving. But
That's crazy. That was a year ago.
I know,
That
right?
feels like it was 10 years ago.
Literally right now we would be at Google.
yeah,
That is insane.
it was freezing cold.
You guys actually brought your trailer out there, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time.
No, oh man, doing that. Your windows are fogging up. Everything is freezing.
Yep.
Ooh.
It.
Yeah,
It
we
only
had a
took
little
us-
mini heater just to keep our feet from freezing to the floor. It was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is wild that was a year ago. It.
Seems like a
I think we
lifetime
time
ago.
traveled a little bit.
Yeah,
this
seriously.
year.
We even just driving today, coming here. You know, the roads are pretty decently plowed, but I'm like, we used to like pull trailers and this stuff. Like, I'm so glad to be out of the food truck.
Yeah.
Like, it is like today it was freezing, and it's like
Yeah.
we used to work in this daily.
Yeah. Some of the other food trucks that we worked with, I saw were posting, and they're like, "We're hoping to be open tomorrow. We don't know. We'll let you know as soon as we can."
The worst.
And I was like, "Man, a year ago we were in that. Thank God we only did that for one winter. I don't know how these guys do that for
Dude,
7,
I'm remembering the one
years.
when we were at Ill Mannered
Yeah,
and we had that snowstorm and it took us, I don't know, over an hour just to get back to the commissary.
yeah, it was like a 20-minute drive. Took us.
Yeah, we
An hour.
did the whole, we did a detour, so we weren't on the main arterials. It was crazy.
Mm,
Yeah,
I don't miss it.
a little bit.
No.
Yeah.
Zero.
No. Not
Well,
really.
because you like prep, like obviously my prep was a lot more than your guys', but I would prep all day for one day, and then we get this weather. Like I probably wouldn't have gone out today in
Yeah.
the weather that it was. So now I got all this food that I wasted a whole day prepping. A gig that was probably going to be a good gig that is now canceled. Just like the unknowns were so bad.
yeah,
You know,
and
we have unknowns now, but
that's
it's a
one thing I
little more
learned about
Yeah.
controllable.
the weather though is like if people look at their phone and it says it's going to rain or snow, and I think we saw that on Sunday in the restaurant, it said it's going to be dumping snow by 5 p.m. People look at their phone and they're like, I'm not going out tonight.
Right, it's already
It,
determined.
it didn't snow at all the whole time we were there. We
Yeah.
left at 9. You know, it was like no snow. But we learned that early on in the food truck, whatever the weather app says, just go off that, because everyone, whether it happens or not, people are going to look at
They're
that
already planning for
and they're
that.
going to pre-plan their whole day. There's a chance it's going to be raining. I'm not going out to the brewery and eat at a food truck.
True.
Yeah.
You know, whether it rains or not doesn't matter. Whatever the weather app
it's just
says.
the forecast, right?
Yeah, that's going to forecast your event or your evening, and it's normally pretty accurate.
Right.
We had remember we did that one at was it the Franklin Park Conservatory where it was just a monsoon.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember what, I think that was that one of their cocktail nights.
Yeah. We did like $400.
Yeah, we just sat there. Rain was just blowing through the front of the truck. I was just taking videos and putting them on Instagram. I was like, if you're desperate enough for a cheeseburger, bring a couple of umbrellas,
I
because
think I remember you guys posted.
yeah.
that.
And we were like locked in. You know, we're like behind a gate. We can't leave. We're just stuck there until 9 o'clock at night. No customers, just cold and wet.
Oh,
Sad.
terrible.
Yeah. But anyways,
It was good times.
yeah, it's crazy. It's been a year now.
Yeah. I don't know. Any other highlights up to the restaurant from the food trucking? I mean, we could talk about a few things, but I mean,
No, I will say though that like that Google contract was something that like we never expected. Nobody was doing it when we started the food truck. That kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of food trucks. But it was our first winter going into, food trucking in the winter, and we were talking to all the other trucks who've done it before, and they're like, yeah, a lot of trucks shut down. So there's, whatever events are out there's more of them because there's not as many trucks during the winter. People shut down because it's, because of the weather and everything else. So we didn't want to quit for the winter and go find jobs. We're like, let's just try it and see what happens. And we had our first Googles in November, right?
Yeah.
So I think going into November, we had like 2 events scheduled.
Right.
Like November 1, we have like 2 or 3 events for the whole month.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is X amount of dollars what we need to make this month to survive. And we had it all laid out. We're like, this is what we have to do, whatever it takes to get this in order to survive through this winter. And it's like November 1, we're looking at our calendar and we're like, not looking too promising.
Right.
And then by the end of November, we had a great month.
Yeah.
Part of that was because of Google, but that was just the very beginning. We only did a couple Googles that month.
Yep.
But
yeah. Then December it ramped up a little bit, and then January we were fully stacked out. We were doing breakfast burritos. We were doing.
You guys were doing 2 days, weren't you?
Yeah. We did 4 a week for that month.
they said, this is like a little insight on how you have to like pivot and make things work when you're in a food truck. But they're like, hey, we need people to do breakfast 7:30 p.m. because the late shift, it's their breakfast. So they're like 7:30 p.m. We need a breakfast drop off. 7:30, right?
Yeah.
So, but they were like, well, we do cheeseburgers and literally
Nothing else.
cheeseburgers and tater tots. And they're like, well, if you guys have like a breakfast menu, let us know, 50 meals, $20 a head. And we're like, all right, we'll do 50 breakfast meals. So for us, we're like, what's the easiest thing that we can do?
Well, right.
Because you're working with whatever kitchen setup you have at the time.
Yeah, you're not like bringing any other equipment in.
We're not buying a new truck. We're not changing anything. It's like, this is the equipment we have. What can we do? So we settled on breakfast burritos. They were pretty good breakfast burritos.
I thought they were.
We ate a lot of them.
Yeah.
I was excited to eat a breakfast burrito every night we were making them, but they were massive. We're like, let's just do some massive, like Chipotle style,
Nice.
big old breakfast burritos. And
Yeah.
I think we did, 8 to 10 breakfast drop-offs.
Yeah, probably something around there. And
Yeah.
then they're like, yeah, you guys can just stick to dinners.
We're like, works for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild times. But yeah, that whole Google contract like just kind of came out of nowhere.
And it left out
but
of
also
nowhere too.
disappeared.
It
it's
disappeared
like,
out of nowhere. But it was us, you, and probably 3 or 4 other trucks that I know
yeah.
that carried those trucks through the whole winter.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
That and like the big lunch gigs, like, shoot, I don't even remember the gigs anymore.
TRC
TRC
was a good one.
Willowwood.
Willowwood.
I had my breweries out in Pickerington and Lewis Center that were like monthly gigs.
Yeah.
But
STG.
other than those, like 5 other gigs, like the Googles, carried it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like part of it, I think, is being able to weed through the scams
Oh, right.
Yeah.
and what's like real. Because I think when those first popped up, we're like, this is way too good to be true. If somebody ever emails you and they're like, we'll pay you $20 a head, don't care what you drop off, 50 orders, it's
Right.
$1,000, just drop off food. You're like,
Right. No service, no nothing.
Well,
You're
no.
like-
The first time we did it, we didn't do a drop off. We pulled up onto the compound.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Forgot.
And they were like, all right, people will come out. It'll probably be like 50, 60 people. And we're like, cool. All right. So we got there, talked to security. They're like, what are you guys doing? We're making food. And they're like, I got to call someone. I called someone. They're like, all right, we'll escort you where you need to be. We set up and then
13.
sit there for an hour open until people start showing up. And I think we had
I think it was
11 or
13,
12,
yeah, something like
13
Total.
people.
that. 13.
13 people total come out,
And they
make
paid-
them
paid for
burgers,
50.
and then
So we made 13 burgers for $1,000.
Yeah. that was sweet. We did that twice.
We laughed the
We were-
whole
yeah.
drive home.
We're like, this was a complete waste of time, but I'll do it every
yeah,
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure you have enough product in case there are
I would
100.
even make 14 if I had
Yeah.
to. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's crazy the money them place like some places.
But they
just dump
realized
into
pretty
it.
quickly,
Yeah.
like, all right, we can't do
this isn't
this.
going to be efficient.
Especially in the wintertime,
Yeah.
no one wants to go out and wait. So,
Yeah, it was interesting, but
Yeah, mine were always drop offs, but easy.
yeah.
Package them up individually, throw them into a hot box, drive out 45 minutes. Hopefully they're there to pick it up and then drive home, do dishes.
yeah,
It was great.
I don't think a lot of people, us included, have a clue like what kind of events or things that are out there, contracts that you can get, if you're in the food industry. even now we have, people reaching out to us for catering stuff that
Yeah.
you would never even think of.
Oh, the
You know,
catering
but-
business is it's
Yeah,
massive.
remember when they wanted to do the Kentucky Derby?
Oh yeah.
They wanted us to do that. We were trying to figure out how that would work. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll do like
You guys had me convinced that you were doing it.
We had ourselves
I was
convinced.
pretty sure.
It's a Kentucky Derby. How do
Yeah.
you not do it?
Oh,
Like that would be.
Smash Buddies in the infield of the Kentucky Derby. Come on.
It was like a 50-50 shot whether we break even or take our entire
Yeah,
business.
exactly.
Like there's no way that was going to turn out in a successful venture.
Yeah.
Right.
But
we're like, we just have to spend $20,000
Yeah.
and we'll make $60,000
Yeah, yeah.
easy.
Yeah, well, we
just
saw
gotta-
that turned out with Leonard Skinner.
But like you said, some things are too good to be true, and it's hard to
Yeah.
see through it, especially when you see that end number. Like, this is what we're gonna pay you, and you're like, well, let's look at
Yeah.
the logistics to get to that
Well,
point.
that's what we were looking at, like refrigeration trucks, driving everyone down.
Staff.
Lodging.
Lodging, cars, to get people back and forth, multiple griddles, fryers, all this
Training
stuff. We had-
people, like how to get the flow
We
right.
would
It
have
was
needed
like,
like 8 employees
That
Yeah.
were all trained. That were all
that are all
on it.
like trained and ready to go. And we're like, all right, if we only do a double, like we do nothing else, no
Yeah,
onions,
no
just
sauce.
meat, cheese, sauce, bun, you get a double. It's like $22 because it's a Kentucky Derby, and we'll just do like, I don't know, 10, 15,000 of them in a couple days.
yeah.
Yeah. Then we sat back and we're like, yeah, this ain't worth it.
And I,
It would've
It
been
would have
cool.
been so fun.
I think it rained this Kentucky Derby too.
Did
I think
it?
it was
No, I
like
think
a
that
mud
would've
pit. I think so. It could have been one of the other races, but
Yeah.
that would just be miserable. Because you got to think of all the extremes. Like you have to prepare for it. Like we need ponchos or we need
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
kind of I don't know. It just that's a lot.
Yeah, we were almost willing to take the risk on it.
Honestly, yeah.
We're
it was
those type of people
50-50.
though. If everyone's like, don't do that, we're like,
Let's think about it. A little
you're just
more.
scared. We'll figure it out. We'll find a way. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. Ultimately, it did not pan out.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
It's cool. We got invited though.
Yeah. Maybe next year.
2026.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
You never know.
You never know.
But yeah, that pretty tightly wraps up the food trucking, I think.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking about the restaurant?
It's growing
Yeah.
little by little.
The burgers of the week are taking off. Which I was doing the numbers. You guys want to guess what our top 3 burgers of the week were this year?
Top 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or we're just doing
I will
in-house. In-house.
Jalapeno Firehouse.
guess. Oh no.
Oh no
Popper.
no the popper.
Jalapeno
Yeah.
popper.
Okay.
Mushroom.
Yeah. Those are 1 and 2.
Hmm.
You should know the
say-
third one.
The breakfast burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was neck and neck with the Philly.
But better.
Yeah. And actually the Firehouse Jalapeno too. They
Re-
both did just within
For fourth
1 or
place?
2 burgers away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
we-
crazy.
we
I
have-
think this week though.
this week's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might actually sell out.
Yeah. Well, luckily they're coming, the hot sauce people.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll be able to get them to bring us some more.
Speaking of burger of the week, Chef Adam, what is our burger of the week?
What are we calling it?
The Blazing Barbecue.
Blazing Barbecue. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, we teamed up. Before you give the description, we teamed up with our boy Nick, who was on episode 15.
14.
This is
He was
Our
our
first guest. He was our first guest.
First guest, yeah. Can't miss him. So we teamed up with him. He wanted to do a collab on a burger. He loves barbecue style. He was literally like onion rings, barbecue sauce, whatever, run with it. So we did our take on it. We also have been working with Borrowed Lands Farms, who we've brought up multiple times. That's who we're using to bottle our sauce, which will be happening this year
Yeah.
at some point, hopefully
yes.
soon.
In the next few months, I think.
But between those two collabs, what kind of burger we got, Adam?
It's double smash patty, cheddar cheese, thick, like really really thick, crunchy onion rings, barbecue sauce, that Borrowed Lands smoked apple hot sauce, which is fantastic. It's almost like got like a applesauce consistency, but maybe a little thinner, but pretty spicy. A little bit of mayo.
And bacon.
Oh yeah,
Falters bacon.
and Falters thick cut bacon.
Falters thick cut,
Yeah,
old
they're-
fashioned
Yes.
style
Yeah,
bacon.
I was calling it tank bacon.
Yeah, tank bacon.
No, it's the best bacon.
No,
that's out there.
that smoked apple hot sauce is like habanero applesauce.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's how I would define it.
Not
to
too sweet,
somebody.
little tart. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like
It's-
it cuts through the barbecue sauce and it's really good.
Yeah,
Yes.
cheddar, apple, bacon.
Yeah, but it's
Fantastic.
crunchy, it's salty, it's sweet, it's savory. It's
all the things.
It's all.
It's all of them.
Yeah, that'll probably sell out. So get them early.
Yeah, I was
starting
looking at our
Wednesday.
Instagram on the reels. I think it's been shared 130 times or something like that.
Today.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Since like
Let's see.
noon.
Let's see. We'll get
Yeah.
a live.
Ooh.
Well, I can't see shares, but I'll see how many.
No, you can
cl-
see shares.
I can't because I'm not an admin.
Oh, am I? Oh.
But it's got 6,400 views. In
Click
the,
on it. $126.
oh yeah, there we go.
126 shares.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of engagement on it too. That's great.
Yeah.
I think I was probably 35 of those shares.
Were you really? Who'd you share them to?
Everyone.
Oh. It drives engagement.
No, I didn't do 35, but probably 5.
Yeah. That's fair.
I mean, look at that burger though.
No,
Mm-hmm.
it's fantastic.
All my buddies back home in Washington, whenever we have a new burger of the week, I always share it to them. I'm like, bro, check this out. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited for the new concoctions we have coming out this year.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
That's like one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the week is developing a new burger.
R&D.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to
Well, it just doesn't seem like a lot of other places are doing that. Like they run their menu.
Yeah, there's a few,
Or, yeah, like
but
specials
really
here and
not.
there.
Yeah, and it's usually a daily special.
Well, I mean, like burger places. I don't see them doing a lot of specials.
That's true.
But we have like a new one. We only repeated what 2 or 3
Yeah.
jalapeno Philly.
And I mean, our whole business model is being for the people. So the ones we bring back are the ones that people are like, bring it back.
Yeah.
We need it. Or they're like, put it on your menu full time. We're like,
Yeah.
nah, we'll give you a week.
Yeah.
We'll give you another week of the breakfast burger, the jalapeno popper. But yeah, I was talking to Let's Eat Ohio, a food reviewer who's coming on here soon, hopefully. I think in February. But we were talking about, she came in and tried the jalapeno popper, and she was saying that she can't decide which one of her burgers is like her favorite of the ones she's tried. And
It's typically the last one you ate is your favorite.
that's exactly that's what I was gonna say. I was like, that's exactly what I told her. I was like, whichever one I'm eating at the time,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the best burger
Yeah,
I've ever had.
right.
It could be the All American I've had like 100 times,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, this is it. This one right now in this moment, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
I could go for a breakfast burger right now.
We got to start doing this at the restaurant with the kitchen.
No,
So we can just-
run back and make some
Right, we're gonna
burgers.
take a quick break. We got hungry.
No, you don't even have to take a break. Just send someone back there. They'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a funny one.
I'm here for
Or
it.
just like have one episode that where we do that at the restaurant and we just continue, just keep eating burgers.
And
Like,
the-
how
Just
many?
an hour
How many?
of eating.
It's like a burger-thon,
Yeah.
live burger-thon.
Hey, man, I have to eat over 300 burgers this year.
have a
so-
phone there and get donations.
Yeah.
Ooh, 1,000 burgers in an hour.
1,000.
We'd need like 10 people.
Oh, more than
More
that.
than that.
Oh, that's funny.
Another
No, that-
milestone I think that we hit was 120 Google reviews
Yeah.
in not even 6 months. That's pretty good. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, we started because we had the Google account with our food truck, and I think we started at actually 20 or 21.
No, so we had
21
100.
Right about 100 reviews in our first 6 months.
5 months. We just hit 5 months.
Yeah, 5. This
Yeah.
is the start of 6 months, so 5 months.
That's good. 20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just any reviews. It's like 95% 5-star.
It is.
And we don't push for them either. Like I don't like tell people
we
like
don't
if they
ask.
say it's great, I'm like, hey, leave us. I don't.
I only tell
I
like
feel awkward about
my
doing that.
friends that come in, like if they like text me, oh dude, the burger was great.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
leave us a review.
Right,
or
my
or
friend.
like if people ask, they're like, you know, how can we help spread the word? I'll tell people like, literally reviews
yeah.
are the best because people always go to the reviews and look. And so I'm like, I guess the best way to help if you love the food, love the atmosphere, like drop us a review.
Yeah, there's a guy leaving. What was it? Friday or Saturday. And I was like, how was everything, man? He's like, dude, everything's great. I'm writing my review right now. I'm like, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it definitely brings a smile on my face when I say, hey, we got another review.
Mm-hmm.
It's always exciting.
And now it's like becoming like, it's like repetitive. Like we get one like 10 or 11 or 11 or 12 in the morning. And then there's like 4 more that come in that day.
Yeah, I don't know if it has to do with like the moon, but people review in packs.
It's cyclical.
I
Yeah.
realized we'll go through like a review drought
yeah.
of a few days, and then it's like 5 reviews in a day. I always run outside.
Well, I
to
think it's
check.
because Google, like, they'll remind you now, like, hey, how was such and such restaurant? Like, whenever
Yeah.
I go and it's random, like, I didn't go there until like I think like 10 days ago, and then it'll remind me. So I don't know if maybe the algorithm like pushes it all at once.
I've
or-
also gotten those from places I haven't been. Like if it's next to somewhere I was,
Oh,
where
yeah,
they
yeah.
think I'm there. But I don't review it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Reviews. I definitely did not realize how important reviews are for businesses
Yeah. Honestly,
before
like,
I started one. And I review a lot of businesses now
Yeah.
because of it.
yeah, seriously, like talking to a lot of the customers when they come in, like, how'd you hear about us? Literally, I was walking around, wanted a burger, and you guys were highly rated with a lot of reviews. It's like, great, cool.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. So,
Have you guys, I know I texted you guys the other night about the new app Belly or something like that. Something I want to like look into. But it's like
I vaguely
it's like
remember
it's like a
this.
Yelp.
Is it actually
it's
called Belly?
BLI?
But,
But
it's,
it's
it's pronounced Belly.
Belai.
I like
French.
Belly.
Is it?
I don't know.
It just reminds me like, get in my belly.
Well, it's like a Yelp, but it's almost like an Instagram where you have like your homepage that's like for you from like all your followers, like what they're reviewing and what they reviewed
Oh, okay.
a certain place as. So you like build your own community, and you can do it like throughout the whole United States. So
You like get followers and stuff?
yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
anything to take down Yelp, I'm here for.
and that's what I mean. It's
What it might be owned by Yelp.
the new age Yelp. It could be.
Well, we'll cut all that if
Yeah.
that's the case.
Yeah, I want to look it up.
No, I remember you texting me that. I haven't looked it up yet though. Belly.
Belai. What else? I mean, we've gotten quite a few new accolades for the restaurant. I don't know if you want to run us down the list.
I do.
I
And
mean-
I'm going to read them off the list.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember.
No, I remember a few when we.
I'll also, I'll put some links on the old cast so people can see where these are coming from.
Yeah, we're not just making these up.
No, they're real. So
Yeah, it's funny. You read the comments on some of them. It's like, who was in this review? Like, it was out there. It was in the public. Like, we
You!
didn't make it up. We didn't make it up.
before I start this, I have seen businesses say like this is the number one whatever in this city, and people ask them says who, which is a fair question to ask.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like prove it. Like who says that? And because a lot of places just market that as like, hey, this
Well,
is
they
the
like
best burger
put it like on the
ever.
side of their truck or on the side of their building. It's like
Yeah, and it's like, well,
it shows some like
give us the
Yeah, you're right.
documentation, give us the stats. Like,
Right.
who says this?
right.
But yeah, and I've seen businesses like stumble around. They don't know how to answer it because they're just using that as like a marketing
They just
thing.
called himself that. Like,
Yeah, it's just like a self-appointed best burger, and I'm like, let someone else say it first before you use it.
Right.
Anyways, jumping into this in 2024. These are the things. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 things listed down here, but the first one was 614 Magazine did a best burger competition with Trimark, which is a restaurant supplier. That was back in May. This is while we were still in the food truck.
Yeah.
That's where we won the #1 burger in Columbus. And which I don't know. Did we talk about that at all in the podcast?
Maybe briefly touched on it, but I don't think we talked at it like
I
in
don't think
any.
we jumped into that one too much. But we were still in the. I don't even. We were in the food truck. I don't think we even knew that
It was
competition was going on. I think I stumbled upon it on my phone, and I was like, "We're listed on here.
Yeah.
That's crazy." So being in the food truck, like one of the things we did when that one popped up is we were in the food trucks. We were going all over the place in neighborhoods, and we were telling everybody, we're like, "Hey, we're in this. Like, someone nominated us for this, and if you like your food, go vote for us." We're going all over different neighborhoods and businesses and stuff.
I think we were like really the only ones who were actually like pushing for that because I think it was so not really well known.
Yeah.
Not to minimize the accolade. I mean, #1 burger, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even the guys on the Fan 97.1, they're like, Smash Buddies, food truck. Who the hell are these guys, and how did they win?
Right.
oh, did we ever
Yeah.
tell that story?
I don't think so. You
Maybe
want to tell
for the future. I don't
We
know.
could tell later in the cast.
Yeah.
It's all part of
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Shout out to those guys though.
Mhm.
Legends.
Yeah, 97.1
Common
the
Man,
Fan.
Common Man T-Bone.
They big fans of our burgers now, but we'll cover that later. So, anyways, going into the end of the year, a lot of places like Columbus Underground, Step Out Columbus, and 614 Now, they all do like kind of the end of the year best of competitions, and they have people all over the city like go through and vote for their favorite places. So these are some of the places that we landed on the charts. We had Columbus Underground. We were #6, voted as the best new restaurant in 2024 out of the top 10.
#6.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know how many restaurants opened,
Oh,
but I know there was almost 100 that closed in 2024.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure it was close to 100
But-
too.
I'd say more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, for sure.
So #6, being honestly, I didn't expect that one really. Being listed #6, best new restaurant is pretty awesome. #7, best burger on that one, which is great because it gives us room for improvement.
Oh, absolutely. But it's especially how new
in
we
the
were.
2025 goal. But the last one, I don't remember. I can't read my writing here. Adam, do you remember what the last one was?
No, I don't. I can't remember either.
Seriously?
Our very own Adam was listed as #10 in the top 10 chefs of Columbus.
Let's go. Oh, and this wasn't like directly for us, but what did Chow get as best food truck?
#4 food truck.
4.
in the city
#4 food
for operating for 5 months.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty legit. I don't even think we ever made that list
No.
in our first year of our one and only.
I don't
year
know
of
if there
food
was
truck.
very many food truck lists when we
They
were
just had like the Columbest.
Yeah, that's right.
They do the Columbus. That's the Columbus Underground, isn't it? Or is that 614?
That's 614.
It's 614
Yeah, the
total,
Columbus.
not 614 now. Or
Yeah, I don't think we got any of those ones.
No, but those lists are tough to crack, man. Those are like veterans that are on there, like 7 to 10 year food truckers.
Yeah.
And that's like
Yeah. No,
we'll be on that
we're
list.
stoked about
We'll be
that.
on that list this year. One of
Oh,
them.
it's coming.
Oh yeah.
These are the
And I
lists
don't
you
think it's
wanna
a
be
top
on.
10 either. It's like top 3, isn't it?
Um,
Columbest.
they list. I think they may list 5 to 10 food
5.
trucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next year.
There's so many of them. It's
Yeah.
hard to keep up. But moving on. So Step Out Columbus did a article that was the top 25 bars and restaurants that opened in 2025. This is completely separate from all the other ones. And we were listed as #5 in that for top new restaurants in 2024
Is that the one where we were featured as like prominent photo for it?
with the 8-ball.
we were like half of the entire photo,
Yeah.
which is our 8-ball burger.
That one,
That was
I think it was like 11:30 at night, laying in bed, scrolling Facebook, and I get a sponsored ad, and it's a picture of our burger, the 8-ball.
Like, what's going on?
And it was, like 50% of the photo, or 50, probably 60% of the photo, is just this massive 8-ball burger. And I was like, that looks kind of familiar. I think I ate that.
And made that.
Made it and ate it. But, yeah, I was like, what is... I didn't know anything about their
It's really
top
cool.
25, but, it's cool to see. You're like, what is this? And I sent it to you guys,
Right.
and I was like, scroll down, and we're #5 for their top bars and restaurants that open in 2024. And the last one I have here is 614 now. Anthony O'Connell, who goes by 614 Feast, I believe.
Okay.
Listed his top 5 burgers of 2024. He's constantly writing for them, and he listed us as number 3 in
Shout out
Columbus
Anthony
for 2024. So
let's go.
and he had a huge shout out for the Buddy Pounder, which we recently unveiled into the online delivery market.
Yeah.
You heard it right, the Buddy Pounder.
Which I don't know if you guys know, but that's like a double entendre. It's got 2 meanings.
Huh?
I didn't realize that until I was writing it out.
Jesus.
Anyways,
Yeah, Buddy Pounder.
the Buddy Pounder, it's a double with cheese, pickles, raw yellow onions, ketchup, and mustard. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we always have them on the happy hour on the apps, right?
Yep. Buy one, get one. From 3 to 5 o'clock.
Thursday.
Monday or Wednesday through Friday. Yeah, we've been doing a lot.
The Pounder
lately.
Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
literally
a
like
double Buddy Pounder.
yeah. We have like 3 hours straight where it's just 2 pounders, 2
Yeah.
pounders, 2 pounders.
It's
So
good.
Best happy hour deal in the city.
No, you can't beat it.
That's self-acclaimed. We haven't been announced that, but
Next year though,
Yeah.
I mean, is there another Buddy Pounder out there, though? So we got to be the best one.
I would be blown away if somebody else is selling a burger called the Buddy Pounder. But
It's
I
delicious.
guess there's weirder people out there than us, so you never know.
Yeah.
well, that's a good close to 2024, I think.
Yeah.
Those all happen like in December too, so
Yeah, it was a great end of the year. Like the
Yeah.
last quarter, I mean, it started slow, but then we just kind of slammed the door on that year.
no, it's what we've been saying. Every week's a little bit better than the last week, and
Yeah.
this week honestly was a lot better than I was expecting.
Best week of the year, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. But
Yeah, we with our 9 days off because we were closed that whole week of Christmas all the way through New Year's. We needed it. So after 18 months of driving hard with this company and like building this whole thing, I think the most days we've ever taken off, I think it was like a 4-day here and there. But I don't even remember how many of those we took. A couple in 18 months.
I think right when we started, my wife had a kid in July, and I
Yeah.
took like a week off, maybe like 10 days. But that was like literally a month after we had started, so I don't
Yeah,
really count
right
that
when we
too much.
started. Yeah, but other than that, we haven't taken much time off, and so
Yeah.
we shut down for the whole week. Took 9 days off, and it was crazy to see how many people on social media were either messaging us or posting, you know, how sad and lonely they were without us.
Emailing us, making sure we didn't close down.
Yeah, are you guys closed?
We had concerned neighbors that were like looking and peeping in the doors, and they're like, "Are you guys okay? Did you close down?" And we're like, "Bro, I'm just trying to sleep a
Need
little."
need a little break. But, I mean, necessary.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
body was broken.
2025, that's what we're jumping into. So we started off week 1. One of the things we knocked out in the kitchen was kind of revamping the space. We have a rather large kitchen, especially coming from a food truck. I think our food truck was, what, about 100 square feet? 150
If that.
square feet probably
Yeah.
on the inside. Not much working space. And I think we're about 800 square feet for our kitchen.
That's just the main
Roughly.
area, not including the
Right.
dish pit. Yeah.
The dish pit and storage in the back and all of that, but like an 800 square foot working area. So going into this year, as our sales are jumping up, our loyalty from our customers is growing. Like we're seeing a lot more return customers coming on a regular basis and bringing their friends and all that. So everything's steadily growing. We kind of see the future of 2025, what it's going to look like. So we're trying to start now while it's still slow, while we're still growing, and fixing some of the things that we can and make ourselves more efficient. So this week we went through our whole kitchen, kind of redesigned it as much as we could to build some more efficiency.
Well, prep space and, things that we're going to need to be actively doing as we're also serving. So I wanted to keep like raw stuff away from prep stuff, obviously, but to have like its own like delegated areas where
Right.
that we could still operate our business as someone is prepping veggies and meat and doing dishes and just gonna.
Yeah, and you're not in the middle of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that we've talked about since day one.
Yeah.
In the food truck is like we don't plan for what we're doing right now. We plan for what we want to do in 5 years or 10 years, and like our kitchen space, what we had is like working perfectly for the amount of business we're doing, flows great. But what we were trying to transition to is, all right, when business doubles, triples, quadruples,
Yep.
and our staff doubles and triples,
We need room for everyone.
we need room for everybody. What are they going to be doing? Where are they going to be doing it? And how is that going to be laid out in the most efficient way possible? So, like jumping into the new year was kind of like the perfect time to get started on that. Especially this first week where a lot of people are still home, not working. So
Yep.
our lunches were a little slower, which we kind of anticipated, but it was perfect because we're all there and it gives us time to like really work through those processes and figure out, as our business grows, how can we utilize our space as efficiently as possible?
That we didn't really have like a plan for that. Like just kind of, we just started doing things, and then Cole comes back and half the kitchen's moved around,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
But I
Well,
mean,
we knew it had to be done. It was just kind of the shared kitchen space when we started, and then is he going to move his stuff? Like, what's going to happen? And then it was time.
no, it was fun. We were back for like 3 hours,
Yeah.
just constantly moving shit around, and
Yeah, and trying to think through things and like we have 2 hood vents right now that we can be using. We're only using one of them. And the goal is as our business grows, we'll expand toward using both lines essentially.
Yeah.
But right now there's no use for it. And so like we're planning to do as much as we can with the equipment we have and maximize the space, but then also have the plan of when that's not enough,
where's the new
we
stuff gonna go?
how can we transition it to using both, transition this to 2 lines that's the most efficient. So I think it's always going to be kind of a work in progress until.
But I like that we like outgrew our space, so now we needed more space, and now we're gonna expand and outgrow that, and then
New location.
not yet.
I'm just saying that's the inevitable
Right.
path for this.
But
I
that's
mean, when we started the food truck, I've always wanted to double our sales every year for the next 10 years. So we've got a lot of expanding to do.
right. But you don't just go out and buy a huge new building. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. You
expand
grow into it.
Well, you just
Right.
outgrow your space, and
Baby steps.
yeah, I think we're on the right path.
That's basically how we've done everything is baby steps. Start very small, like the food truck. We could have bought a big expensive food truck,
Yeah.
but we bought a tiny little trailer that did what we needed to do for the 2 of us, and we were at a point where we were ready to upgrade to a full truck, and then that guy, we were like, we had a deal, shake of the hand, we'll buy this thing, and then the next day he's like, never mind, we don't want to sell
Yeah, I
it.
talked to my family. We were going to try to make it work. So we're like, okay, we'll sign a lease then. Good luck.
Yeah. He changed his mind, and then our landlord hit us up, and we're like, all right,
Crazy how things happen.
we're going to open a restaurant instead.
And then
Here
2
we are.
months later, he was like, hey, you guys still want to buy my food truck? I'm like, ooh, sorry, man.
No.
Yeah.
We got a trailer if you want it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're definitely growing, trying to get everything in order so we're ready.
Yeah.
Because, this is a brand new experience for all of us, I think, building an empire. And we have those like long-term goals, like you were saying, opening another restaurant and doubling our revenue every year,
Yeah.
which is an aggressive goal. But,
Right, but you
For
don't-
sure.
yeah,
It is, but why not try?
aim
think
small, miss small,
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know. There's some sort of saying out there. Swing for the fences.
But we've been seeing incremental improvements every step of the way. And then we'll get times where it's like, oh shit, we did a really good week.
Mhm.
And then next week we're like, oh, okay.
Don't
we're
ride
back.
it too high.
But it's like
Yeah.
you get high troughs and low lows, but
Yeah.
they're always getting higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
It might oscillate, but the trend is upwards. So
Yeah.
I'm confident we can, at least for the next 5 years, double our sales, and then reevaluate what we want to do. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why not.
We've had a lot of requests for the second location to be Dublin, Hilliard area.
Was that mostly us?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I request that for sure.
And some of the Headies guys.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I told them. And they were like, bro, hell yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not anything like what we're doing in Hilliard.
Nope.
Not a lot of burgers. So, perfect
Not yet.
location. Not yet.
This was supposed to be ground zero
Yeah.
where we put the first one, but didn't work out. I mean,
Well, we tried to make it work. We wanted to do in the True Point development, but when we talked to the people, kind of wrote everything down, we realized quickly that it was going to cost us $500,000 plus.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's obviously going to cost more than what you actually plan it
Oh,
to
yeah.
cost. So we're like, shoot, we probably actually need $1 million. And then we're like, I don't know if we want to do that right now. And
Right.
then this location popped up and we were able to do it for a tenth of that. Less than a
Right.
tenth of that. So
Yeah.
it's got to make sense.
Yep. Location 2, though.
Yeah.
We're coming. Bridge Park's expanding, too. We'll see.
Whew, that rent will be through the roof.
Yeah, that's really the problem. Well, it's not so much the problem. I mean, the rent is a big issue, but it's building out the space. It's like that startup cost just to get open for a new development.
Yeah,
It's
brand
just-
new everything.
It's
is.
insane. I mean, obviously you get the benefit. You're the first person in the space. Everything is perfect to your spec. But, dude, I mean, raising that much money, that much capital for where we're at is just very unrealistic.
Yeah, and I mean, we need to start staffing soon to
Yeah.
get people where they need to be.
But that is the added benefit. So when we were looking at the True Point development, you're not only looking at like your finances, what's it going to cost us to actually build this thing out? How long is it going to take? Contractors and all that stuff, building out an entire dining room, kitchen, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, hood vent, all of that stuff, right? So you're looking at all of that, the build out, the construction, the cost, and then you're like, how many people, if this is a phenomenal location, which they say it's going to be, how many employees are we going to have trained, ready to go day one?
Yeah.
Because something like that, it's like you get one shot.
Right.
Your grand opening, you're in a hoppin' poppin' location, you better be on point. Because if you have 300, 400, 500 people walk through there in your first weekend and you do terrible because you have a bunch of employees who've never done what you're doing before,
Right.
you know, that's going to tank your business right from the get-go. So I think that was another reason why we like starting where we were, because it gives us a year, coming from no restaurant experience, it gives us a year of like learning how this is all done, how to train employees. And then when we go to open a second one, it can be a spot like that. And then we have basically a training camp where we can like hire employees and be like, this is how it's done.
Right.
And then we can move people here. And then, you know, we can overstaff that location at the beginning for a few weeks and then push people back if we need to. But it kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility when it's your second or third location.
Oh, right. Well,
as opposed to your
you already
first.
worked
'cause-
through so many failures.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we've seen other restaurants that opened their first location. They had, 15 employees standing in there. With,
No one leading, no one knows what's going on.
and
It's
they're
just-
all just standing around. No one really knows what to do. And,
Yeah.
you walk in their opening week and there's not a ton of customers in there. And there's more employees than there are customers. And service still sucks because it's like a bunch of undertrained people that don't know what they're doing. So it's like we saw that, and I think we kind of took it to heart and we're like, this is a much better way to do it.
Right.
Open somewhere slow. And I mean, we talked about that in an early podcast where we didn't want a huge grand opening. We didn't want a huge rush at the beginning because we want to learn how to do things right on our time and our pace.
Right.
And I think that's something we can grow into. And then the second one will probably be a nightmare, but I think after the second one they'll get easier and easier.
No, you're just going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be as stressful as the first one, I'm sure.
Yeah. I got about 20 gray hairs on the side right now. I think by the second one, I'm about 40.
Yeah.
Third one would just be
Double it every time.
Full gray mullet.
Yeah. Be a silver fox mullet.
Jesus.
At 35.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
This
I'd
industry
rather
will
that
do it
than
to
no
you.
hair, you know?
Yeah. So what else? What else we got coming up 2025?
Oh, big things, big things. We got Pizza Nerds we talked about earlier. A couple podcast guests coming up. Pizza Nerds coming on next few weeks. We got Bears Bagels coming on the next few weeks.
Hilliard natives.
Hilliard natives. They, I think, live right down the street from our podcast studio here,
Yeah.
which happens to be in my basement. And we also have a number 6 employee sales
Something
rep for Garage
top-
Beer.
Yeah, top
Kind of a big deal.
ground floor employee.
Big wig. Jordan from Garage Beer, he's coming on. We're there's rumor Jason or Travis Kelsey might make a guest appearance.
I've heard
maybe Tay herself.
the people
but
are clamoring, man. They gotta
I
get
don't
them
know.
on.
There's a lot of talk out there in the.
There's an email out there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Wait.
we requested it, but we'll see where it goes. Jason, if you hear this, though, you know. Who else? Let's Eat Ohio. I talked about earlier. She should be coming on soon. I think February. And
Another top 10 chef, maybe?
Let's
oh
hope
yeah,
I've
Sebastian
Yeah.
La Roca. Let's hope he comes.
Yeah.
yeah. He says he's a little busy the next couple months, but he'll be on here for sure. No, we got some good people coming up.
Yeah. And if you know anyone that is in the industry or owns a small business or
You think we'd just make an entertaining podcast?
great, shoot us a direct message and we'll be in contact.
Mm-hmm. Slowly but surely, number 1 podcast in Columbus.
I mean,
I'd take number 2.
I think we already are.
Was that on the Columbus Underground?
I don't know. That
How
could be
many
a-
Columbus-based podcasts are there? 2?
Well,
There's
you
gotta-
think
no,
we're the only
I
idiots
bet.
doing
Yeah, I think we're the only idiots doing it.
No, I bet there is over 250.
Really?
it? For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If not
I'm way
over
underestimating.
1,000.
Dang. I mean, it
Columbus
is a big city.
it is a
Yeah.
big city.
But yeah, a podcast could be anything.
Yeah, but I mean, like, talking about Columbus, like, making it kind of like the front and center part of, well, not maybe the front and center, but like a part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, you could be based out of Columbus, but doing a history podcast, and it's not really a Columbus-based
Well, right.
podcast.
Well,
Like, we're
fair.
still talking current events within the city and things like that.
yeah, I think we're the only people that run a restaurant and have a podcast and do this. I think so
Yeah, probably.
in Columbus.
If there's another one out there, let us know.
Collab.
Yeah, come on.
Collab. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got to get Borrowed Lands on, too. I
Yeah.
think they've said they wanted to do it.
They did. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was like when we started this, we're like, yeah, we'll start a podcast and we'll find people to come on. Like, hopefully people want to come on our podcast. But now, in the 2 months that we've been doing this, 16 episodes,
Wow.
we've,
They said it couldn't be done.
I know. I never thought we'd be sitting here at episode 16, but here we are. But no, it's crazy though. I've reached out to people. I'm like, hey, we started a podcast. We just want to hear your story and tell us about you. You want to come on? They're like, yeah.
But didn't
Let's
we
do
have
it.
someone in the restaurant say, "Get back in the studio" or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
some-
old guy
some
who
old-timer.
was doing like he did a toast pickup. And he was just like, "When are you guys gonna get back on the podcast?" It's
Yes,
like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
It was
so
like the-
interesting.
love it.
Yeah. Which I'm sure he's listening. So shout out. But it
Oh,
was,
yeah.
it was,
I think it was James, if I'm
Thanks,
remembering
James.
correctly. So shout out to James.
If it's not James, sorry, but thank you.
Yeah.
yeah, it was very unexpected,
That's cool.
Yeah,
but it's
dude.
cool.
I felt like we made it at that
Even,
point.
yeah.
It's all going to my head right now.
Jeez, oh man.
Yeah, even Nick over at Hetty's was saying how people were popping through. You weren't there on Sunday, but he was telling us how after the episode, a bunch of people who were like Smash Buddies fans, but hadn't heard of Hetty's or hadn't heard of him, were popping in the shop, that next week and be like, "What's up, bro? Saw you on the podcast."
Nice.
He was
That's
like,
awesome.
"Bro, I feel like a small town celeb, Jason Falters brought him a pack of bacon.
That's what he said.
Yeah, it rolled through.
So excited
Yeah.
about
Stoked
that.
about
it
it.
was all on the same day, so he was just
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
that's
High.
great. That's great.
Mhm.
But that's what we want to do here. Like, we want to bring light to more than just us, but
Oh yeah.
Like that's so cool. We're like building our own community. Like
Right. And it's like every business is like relatable in some aspect. You know, it might not be restaurant, it might not be burgers. You know, it could be like Falters, you know, or Hetty's, or Nick working with Hetty's. You know, they're completely different businesses, but it's like the entrepreneur's spirit.
Yeah.
You know, and the sense of like community,
The
Well, it just
history
shows
of the
that everyone's
city.
history of the city.
But it
Yeah,
shows like
it's
everyone's
cool
like the
bringing it
same.
together.
everyone's the same. We're just doing our own thing here.
Yeah,
It's cool.
it's cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Big town with small town vibes.
And what I want to do is I want to try to get. I was telling Jared about this the other day. We should probably get in contact with Jason and get a tour because it's like his.
Oh,
this is like his.
100%.
This is like his slow time
Yeah.
between now and.
Well, I was talking to
Growing
him
season.
this last week, and he was saying they're gonna have another big like rush in the next few weeks because they got one of their big clients like put like 100,000 pounds of whatever.
Nice.
And so he said they're gonna be busy, but I think February we probably should be able to do something.
Dude, and it's really cool.
Dude,
It's,
I'm stoked.
it's
After
really
reading
cool.
that book, I'm like very interested to see what goes on behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
we got to bring him on for another one to go over that book.
Oh man, a lot of talking points for that.
it's an interesting place to be.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we live stream it on Instagram.
Yeah, take questions from the audience.
Jesus.
It'll be like a Smash Buddies group field trip.
Yeah.
Wait, there?
Yeah, Falters.
Oh, you want to do it while we're touring it?
Yeah, I want to live stream our tour.
Just
Ooh.
carry the mics with the sound equipment.
We're gonna need
Get a nice backpack.
production team.
We get like
We got a guy. We got a
the
guy.
headsets and stuff.
No, that'd
Yeah,
be sweet.
Yeah, maybe not.
What else we got?
Yeah, 2025. Any major resolutions or anything you guys want to do in your?
Brown's Backer Bar.
Yep.
That's happening for sure.
That. Yeah, I think the application's open for that in the spring. So there's a few things we have to get lined up, but I think we can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Guardians
And they're going to be good.
starts
I think they're going to the Super Bowl next year. I'm pretty convinced.
Yeah, we have
Get
some
Watson
regulars
healthy.
that come in, and they're hopeful.
yeah, until Wake one next year, and they're like, oh, well,
Yep.
there's always next year.
Or if he's still hurt, we pick up Aaron Rodgers and.
You guys are gonna get. They're gonna get Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we'll see.
Well, I don't know. They said
Yeah.
they're. This is not a sports podcast.
Yeah, I'm joking about all of that. I have no idea about anything football.
Yeah, I think it's time we call it a wrap.
Yeah.
To 2025.
Yeah.
To 2025.
Cheers to
Next
2024.
time we'll have a guest on here. Cheers, boys.
Later, taters.
Smash later.
Smash you later.